We often think of history as something you read in a book. But what if a country's entire story was woven into, well, its clothes? Today, we're going to unravel the incredible 2,000-year story of Japanese clothing, one thread at a time. It's a journey that's all about culture, politics, and identity. And it really all boils down to this one big question. And this is the evolution we're talking about. I mean, look at this. We're going from these super functional, simple garments of ancient Japan all the way to the jaw-droppingly complex robes of its golden age. Okay, let's dive right in. All right, so our story actually begins not with the rustle of silk, which you might expect, but with the quiet stillness of clay. So you might be wondering, how on earth do we know what people wore so long ago? Well, think of archaeologists as detectives. And some of their best clues? They're these fascinating clay figures called haniwa from way back in the 5th and 6th centuries. And these figures give us a fantastic look at the basics. You can see on the left, men wore a two-piece outfit called a kinobakama, basically a top and trousers. And then for women, on the right, it was a one-piece garment called a kinumo, kind of a tunic and skirt combo. Super simple, totally functional, and really, this is the seed for everything that comes next. Okay, but Japan's fashion story wasn't happening in a bubble. A huge wave of new ideas was about to arrive from the continent, and believe me, it was going to change Japanese fashion forever. So, starting around the 7th century, Japan's court started looking at what was happening in Tang Dynasty China and thought, yeah, we want some of that. You can totally see it here in this painting of Prince Shotoku. Check out his Chinese-style official hat and that round-collared robe. This wasn't just a style choice, it was a big political and cultural statement. But here's the really cool part. We have more than just paintings. There's this incredible imperial repository called the Shoso-in Nara, and it's basically a time capsule. It has preserved actual clothes from this period, giving us this tangible, physical link to the past. It's amazing. Just look at this. This is a short-sleeve jacket from the 8th century. The detail in that clamp-resist dyeing technique is just mind-blowing. It really shows you the level of craftsmanship they had. And here's a pleated skirt, showing the new shapes and silhouettes they were adopting. Again, what's so wild about this is that we're not looking at a painting. This is the actual garment. It survived for over a millennium. Just incredible. And it goes all the way down to the accessories. Even these silk socks show that incredible craftsmanship and the influence from the continent. The precision on that dyeing, it's just beautiful. Okay, so after a while, Japan's direct contact with China starts to fade a bit. And this is where things get really interesting. Its culture and fashion begin to blossom into something totally uniquely its own. So this new, distinctly Japanese aesthetic is maybe best seen in the formal wear of noblewomen. It's like they stopped copying and started inventing. And the result was this, the karagi numo, or junyi hitoe. I mean, just look at this magnificent thing. It's often called the 12-layered robe, and it was literally a series of different colored silk robes worn one on top of the other. The whole point was to create this beautiful rainbow of colors peeking out at the sleeves and the hem. It's almost less of an outfit and more like a work of art. And we can see exactly how they were worn in famous illustrated scrolls, like from the Tale of Genji. You can see how the noble ladies are almost swimming in these huge, layered silk robes. It was a huge statement about their status and taste. But, like all golden ages, the Heian period came to an end. Power shifted away from the aristocrat and over to the warrior class, the samurai. And of course, fashion shifted right along with it. Things got a lot simpler and more practical. And that brings us to the kosode. The name literally means small sleeve, which makes sense. But here's the really wild part. This thing started out as underwear. Yep, it was the basic layer hidden underneath all those fancy robes of the Heian court. But it was about to have a major glow-up. So over a few hundred years, the kosode goes on this incredible journey. It goes from being underwear to being the main daily wear for the new warrior class. Then it becomes official wear for the middle class, even the base layer for samurai armor. And by the time we get to the Momoyama and Edo periods, it's basically a canvas for the most amazing embroidery and decoration you've ever seen. It became a huge symbol of taste and wealth. All right, fast forward to the late 19th century, and Japan goes through another massive change. It opens up to the West, and this sparks a revolution not just in government, but in the closet.
All of a sudden, you had to make a distinction. You had wafuku, which meant Japanese clothes, the traditional robes like the kosode. And then you had yofuku, or Western clothes, all the new styles coming in from Europe and America. This created two completely new categories, and it was a big deal. And this is the aha moment. This is where the word kimono as we know it really comes from. To define its own national dress, Japan took this super common everyday word, kimono, which just means a thing to wear, and gave it a brand new formal job. The kosoda was officially reborn as the kimono. But the story didn't just stop in Japan, it went global. In the late 19th century, this craze for Japanese art and design, called Japonism, just swept across Europe and America. It completely influenced famous artists and had a huge impact on Western fashion, too.
So, there you have it. From a simple wrap to a national symbol that influenced the whole world, the kimono really does tell the story of Japan itself. And it kind of leaves you wondering, doesn't it? What's the story that our own clothes will tell 1,000 years from now?